Welcome on board Arvind Mediratta. He's the MD and CEO at Metro Cash and Carry India, joining us on the show right now. Arvind, hi, good morning. Good to have you on the show. Arvind, the last time we were chatting with you, 8 of your outlets, if I'm not mistaken, were shut. What's the update on your stores now? Now that the lockdown has been extended, have you had to shut any more stores?
Good morning. Thank you for inviting me to this show. So as we speak, all our 27 stores all over the country are operational. Yes, there are restrictions. So in 7 out of these 27 stores, we are only allowed to do delivery. So we cannot entertain any walk-in customers. And in the balance stores, there are some restrictions on timings. So typically before the COVID and before the lockdown, we would open the store at 6 a.m. in the morning so that the business customers could come and shop. Right now, we open the store around 7 a.m. We used to keep them open till about 10 p.m. But now in most of the places, the stores get shut down by about 6 p.m. And there are some states like Gujarat, UP, Punjab, and Andhra Pradesh, where the operating hours are reduced to only 4 or 5 per day. So there the restrictions continue to be pretty harsh. But overall, I will say that things have gotten much better since we last spoke. After the lockdown, immediately after that, for the first 3-4 days, our attendance was about 20-25%. Right now, for the last several days and several weeks, we have been operating at an attendance of between 55 to 60%. The situation on the supply side has also improved a lot. We were seeing shortages in the first few weeks post the lockdown. Now, most of the FMCG companies have started production. Certainly, they're not operating at 90 or 100% capacity. They're operating anywhere between 30 to 60% capacity. So there is still some shortage, especially for fast-moving articles. On the commodity side, things are more or less normal. So we have ample stocks of all the commodities like rice, pulses, flour, etc., sugar, salt. So there's no shortage of essential commodities. And also, I will say that we have got tremendous support from various bodies of the government, from DPIIT to Ministry of Consumer Affairs, Ministry of Food Processing, to make sure the stores continue uninterrupted. We've also seen tremendous cooperation from various state governments. In fact, I would like to call out one example in Telangana state, where the Hyderabad DCP formed a task force on essential products. And if there was any blockade of trucks, we could reach out to her and immediately the trucks would be released. So we have seen phenomenal examples of private-public partnership, because of which the business has continued more or less uninterrupted, at least on the food side. Yes, there have been challenges, as I mentioned earlier, in a few states. And right now our request to the government is to slowly ease the lockdown, because there are a lot of customers who are asking for products which are not really currently deemed to be essential. So these are, for example, kitchen products, things like microwave ovens, things like juicer mixer grinders, utensils, storage containers for food products. As we also know, summer is around the corner. So while the government 2 days ago allowed the sale of fans, I think there's also an opportunity to sell refrigerators, air coolers, maybe air conditioners if the government doesn't consider it to be a luxury product. We also know that a lot of people are working from home. A lot of people are doing online classes from home, students. So also it will be good if some of the work from home products are also allowed to be sold. Similarly, it will be good if stationery is also added to the list, not just the school textbooks. So we are appealing to the government to ease the lockdown a little bit, because it is in a way hurting the economy. We expect the GDP for the Jan-Feb-March quarter will be not very good. April, May, June could be also bad. So we appeal that the economy now should start opening up a little bit.
What change do you think will happen to consumer demand? Do you think luxury spend will now become necessity within your categories of footwear which you make and sell? Do you see a downtrading will automatically start? So your top line may start contracting and margins may remain same. Are we looking at that kind of a scenario?
Very good question. So we have seen that people are trading down. So the demand for premium products has come down even within FMCG. So people are buying the essentials. As you also know, there's a lot of uncertainty in the economy. A lot of people are worried about layoffs. While the government has clearly sent a directive to all the companies not to lay off people or not to do any salary cuts, but people are worried what will happen after the lockdown is lifted. So yes, there will be an impact on discretionary spend. We think that some of the non-essential products will see a contraction in demand, maybe for the next 12 to 18 months. Things like cosmetics, skincare within FMCG. Then there are categories like footwear, apparel, where I think there'll be contraction in demand. We also know what's happening in the auto sector. So yes, I expect that there'll be a contraction in demand. Our estimate, basis what we have looked at different reports, is that the GDP for the financial year 2020-21 would contract by 2 to 3% in the best case. So that's, I think, going to be a big challenge for most of the companies and also for the government. And certainly people will not spend as frequently and as often as they were spending in the past, and they will buy only the essentials. I will also say that we are seeing some contraction in demand for some of the so-called essential products like milk. I have also read reports that milk consumption has come down a little bit because the HoReCa sector, or what we call the hotel, restaurant, catering sector, the Indian sweet shops have been closed. They also are big consumers of milk. So that has led to a contraction in milk demand, and you can't get more basic than that. So yes, there will be an impact, and it will be therefore very important for all the companies to look at the cost side of the equation and make sure that they restructure the operations, they run more leaner and meaner operations. And we're also seeing a big trend towards digitalization. I don't think in the post-COVID world, or even in the current situation, you can survive as an organization without a very strong e-commerce or digital play. And we also have rolled out in the last 30 days an app for our Kirana customers, so that if they have difficulty coming to the stores for some reason, they can order online and get the same products delivered at a very nominal cost. We also have a partnership which we stitched about a couple of weeks ago with Swiggy to deliver basic home essentials to the end customer homes, because as per the FDI policy, we are a wholesaler, we cannot sell directly to the end customers. So we did this partnership so that people can benefit from our wholesale prices and ample availability of the essentials. And by doing some of these innovative things, we have been able to make sure, at least on the food side, our business is almost at the same level as a year ago. And in the Kirana segment, which is another thing I want to highlight, our business has grown by 30 to 40%. So one thing I must highlight in the last 30 days that we have seen is that, contrary to popular expectation, where even the government felt initially that food and grocery essentials will be delivered to customers' homes by many of the e-commerce companies, one segment which has done an extraordinary job are the neighborhood mom and pop Kirana stores. They have stood tall during this pandemic, during this crisis, and they have made sure that households are getting their daily essentials. And we are also seeing that they are selling sometimes below MRP to make sure that when people are during these hard times, they are not coughing up more money to buy these essentials. And that's a great thing. It also reinforces our belief, which we have always had, that in India, in food and grocery segment, the mainstay of that segment is the Kirana store. And yesterday, there was a partnership announced by Reliance and Facebook, which is just reinforcing that in India, the Kirana, mom and pop Kirana stores will continue to remain relevant for a very long time. But as I said, going forward, we request the government to ease some of the restrictions and allow us and also the e-commerce companies to start selling some of the so-called non-essentials, because from the point of view of the customers, they're very critical articles. So if my juicer mixer grinder is not working or breaks down, for me it poses a lot of hardships. People want to buy utensils, people want to buy IT accessories, people want to buy a refrigerator. If the refrigerator breaks down and summer is now around us, what will people do? So these
Right, okay. My next question is perhaps a twofold question. One, there definitely is going to be a change in the rental which some of the companies, some of the malls and some of the retailers would pay. But could there be a very big increase in cost in terms of social distancing? I mean, if somebody walks into a store or into a mall, you will have to maintain longer lines. You will have to start disinfecting a lot. And how essentially a food retailer or let's say a company like yours which showcases food will be able to disinfect a lot?
So I see. I have a different view on this. I don't think this will lead to increase in cost. It will actually, this COVID crisis has told us the inefficiencies in our system. So, for instance, we are running our stores with 60% of the people. We never thought that we would be able to do that, but because there are restrictions on people movement, a lot of times the passes are not available. We're able to do the same job despite maintaining social distancing with 60% of the staff. So I think, frankly, if you digitalize your business, if you automate your processes, I don't think the cost will go up. For instance, we have started a token system in most of our stores. So people, like you can do a booking for the doctor's consultation, you can do a booking for your grocery shopping. You come during that time, and most of the time we will keep things ready for you if you place an advance order with us. So the time that you spend in the store can come down significantly. So I believe that with the usage of technology, the cost of doing business will certainly not go up. But yes, the same paradigm will not work. People have to reinvent the business model. For instance, even if you look at delivery, if you make sure that your drop sizes are efficient, if you optimize the delivery routes, it can be a very profitable business. So I personally don't think the cost will go up, at least in our business. With usage of technology, we can actually keep the cost same or even bring it down. I strongly believe in that.
Sure. Sure. Great to get in that perspective from you, Arvind. Good to have you on the show. And, we must chat more often as and when the lockdown as well gets lifted to try and understand how the consumer behavior is panning out. Good to speak with you.